Buenas tardes, everyone, from San Juan, Coastal, Mexico. The Joining in Light Retreat, Silent Center. We call it a monastery. We just moved in this weekend for those of you just joining us, and so beautiful. We have beings from Las Vegas and Australia and now Ohio with us. This is precious to come together and celebrate this light, the infinite light of being, where all the power is, and seeing the light that we are. And that nothing changes the light that we are. So in each of these sessions, we focus on the light together. And then it's just been so helpful to these light circles in refining our building that trust that we can hear Jesus. That is completely within our power, because Jesus is our own voice. As he says in the lessons, he is us. He is the light that's with us and speaks to us throughout the day, because this is our voice, our true voice, as opposed to the voice of the idea of the old identity that we thought is ourselves. And through forgiveness, we see all the denials that we had, that we already won, that this voice is our voice. So in the light circles, we simply learn to focus on the light within, and see that we can at any time see this light, recognize this light. It's not a light of this world. It's the light of divine being. The light that shines in everyone. That as our eyes, those old ideas we have about ourselves fall away when we look upon our loved brother. He or she becomes the one we've searched for all of our lives. And we see each one as ourselves. With deep happiness and gratitude to have our brothers with us. It's been so miraculous at the monastery since we've been here. This deep devotion, and then coming with these light circles. We feel you. I've said this many times. Every time you come on, it's like, oh, they're with us. They're just with us. Every day in this deep devotion to this deep, infinite light of being that we share. The only thing that can be shared. So as we focus on the light, what came to mind today is chapter 2 of a new covenant. And as Jesus says, this new covenant is really words of encouragement. It's been 50 years since A Course in Miracles. This is a very powerful teaching. And now he knows that the mind is ready. We know the mind is ready for speed. To drop the past. Drop those old ideas of who we thought we were. What cannot be. In exchange, and to see that it's nothing actually. We're not exchanging anything. There's an idea that something exchanged. Actually, as Jesus says, we're giving nothing for everything. Yet the thought we have of ourselves would try and convince us otherwise. That he's pointing to no. Know in your heart that that voice does not exist. It's a dream. You, as divine being, do not know the voice of the ego in truth. So you must dream it. We have to dream that dream because we choose to have that experience. But even within the dream, it cannot change infinite, unchanging, divine nature that we are. The happy knows. The happy knows. And each thought seen through and forgiven. The peace of God shines as it always is. And Jesus is merely reminding us of the power we have as infinite beings to see immediately that thoughts and beliefs are not true, and that in truth we need fear nothing. To start with the divine light and see the lights here. And the moment we think that we can forget, we just look over to one of our brothers in this heavenly devotion and see the gifts God brings to us. Chapter 2. In the light of infinite being, there are no doubts and no thoughts. So as divine beings, we can go into our hearts and ask Jesus, Jesus, so that we can know it. It's not just read in the book. He's going, you will know every line of that book to be true. Every single one of A Course in Miracles. He says, you already know it's true. Every line you will see that resonates within you, divine being. Jesus, will you show me the doubts I have about that I'm an infinite, powerful being, untouched? So those joining, we just raise our hands to show that we've had an opportunity to listen to that voice of God within. We're just practicing listening to Jesus tell us so that the truth lives within us. We see that the truth of these words are us, calling ourselves home to our true home. Does the light of infinite being know what thought is? Let's ask. In truth. This is what forgiveness is bringing us to, see that no thought is true. I'm willing to see it. Jesus. How is it that infinite being would become so involved with thoughts? It cannot be. Through the expression of consciousness, the dreamer dreams a world. Jesus, is consciousness separate from me? We just listen, let him tell us. Let him speak within our hearts. Jesus, is this a dream? Is this a dream of separation? Listen deeply in the heart. It will come. It will come to be known. So then, how to be free? The greatest power is to see now in this moment, you are free. You are already free. Is the infinite light that's here when all thoughts, feelings, and motions are dropped. Can the infinite light be bound. The light that's here that we share, the only thing we can share, all that's given by God. Can this be bound? In our direct experience as light beings? Jesus, are there any doubt thoughts that I'm already free? I'm willing to see those. See that you are already free, that nothing binds the Son of God, the light within. This is the holy instant, this light. The light that sees no bond, cannot know bound, being bound, cannot know death, does not know what death is. This is the light we share. This is why all thoughts, feelings, and emotions must be left aside, if only for a moment. These are all the ideas of a false identity. You've become so used to them. You would claim that you cannot cast them aside, yet you can. Because you're a powerful infinite being. And thus, if you choose not to invest in them, they cannot arise without you. This is the holy, simply the holy instant. It's an instant, yet it shines forever. It's the light, the reminder of that 1 second. This is all it takes, that instantaneous noticing what's already here. Pure, infinite light. Infinite happiness. That's how little willingness there needs to be to see that the light's here. Notice the peace and sense of relaxation in this gentle laying aside all thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And let the light within you bloom. See that there's something here that shines on always. This is your natural state. And because you can drop all thoughts, even for a moment, this shows they are not necessary. Jesus, do I believe that thoughts are necessary? I'm willing to look at that. Okay, he says yes. Yet if I ask the light in truth, are thoughts necessary? The answer I hear is no. And we can all hear this. Ask him. Jesus, for yourself, because you have a relationship. Every being can hear Jesus. This is when it gets really fun too. Life is not fun until we're hearing and talking Jesus. That's all there is to it. It's true. This is your natural state. Because you can drop thoughts, if even for a moment, this shows they're not necessary and that you have the power to drop them at any time effortlessly. This is helpful to look at. Everything Jesus said's helpful. This is a good one. Jesus, are there any doubt thoughts? Any denials that I can just drop thoughts effortlessly? I'm willing to see. This is showing where your true treasure lies and the power that you have. I have said there are no idle thoughts, and all thoughts produce form at some level, meaning that every thought has impact because you believe it does. Jesus, will you show me that I believe thoughts have impact? I'm willing to give those beliefs to you. Thoughts have this impact of feeling as though they do have impact because you want them to. In the dream, this is the wanting and the wish fulfillment in the dream, wanting thoughts to have the impact, cause and effect, linear time. Jesus, do thoughts generate linear time and direct experience as a divine being? You hear his answer. Feel the power of knowing that answer right in your heart. Thoughts only arise out of your desire to experience them. Jesus, will you show me the desires to experience thought? Yet if you look, you can see, say, so much happiness here. When you look, you can see if you follow those thoughts carefully, very carefully, past the desire to experience from them, follow them back to the source, find the source of those thoughts. They have no true source because they're not real. Yet because you create them, you can follow them and see their source is love. Infinite, unchanging love. This is so worthy of the contemplation. This is the purpose of the approbation in many spiritual traditions, to go in silence to your God, to contemplate your true self for the revelatory experience that you are not an object, that you are not your thoughts, and that you are indeed peace of mind. You are the holy instant and beyond. The holy instant is merely a reminder of what you are and what is always here. Yet its value is beyond what can be known in this world, because it's an early window to the unchanging, timeless nature of being. It has the power to obliterate in the dream, because we see the contrast between the light of the holy instant, pure unborn awareness, and the tension in the desire not to experience it, to say no to our own divine nature. Yet seeing this is all the power. So this is why this contemplation on the light, so that we can see that we are the light. There isn't anything other than the light. Pure, choiceless awareness. Celebrating infinite love, out of which a world arises, a dream arises. without changing choiceless awareness. In the seeing, then, is all the power given to experience contrast, that everything that is not relaxation and infinite peace is a desire for experience what is arising in the dream, a dream of a world that is of other and persons apart from the whole. Jesus, will you show me my desire, the desire I have for this dream? I'm willing to see it and see the innocence in it, really. And see the love, the infinite love that is unchanged by even the dream of a world and other. The seeming idea of other. I'm willing to see that light shining. Because you're an infinite being, you have the power then to both create and destroy a world within a dream that seems real. This is without any effort whatsoever, yet without it impacting your true identity, effortlessly. It's a helpful reminder that how powerful we truly are. No breeze moves without you. No bird sings without you. You would believe that this body is life. You are life. You are one, the one. We are the one. This is not a small power. Yet it's a helpful step to notice this. In the light of pure being, can this world arise without me, not as a person? But ask, can this world arise without the light? And hear that answer that comes from within. It cannot. This is not a small power, yet we recognize that some power moves this world. The crickets singing, the birds singing, all of this happening simultaneously. How is that happening? The mystery of how it all happens. We think we know, the ego thinks it knows. Does the ego know that? In the light of divine being, what does the ego know about this world? Can the ego know anything about this world? In our direct experience as divine beings, the ego is a thought cluster. It's like a little cluster of ideas. See that it has no power over you. Infinite being. This is not a small power, yet it holds no comparison to the real power you have been given by the Father that is beyond this world. At the same time, unless you accept the power you have to miscreate a dream, you can never be free from the dream. Never truly free. Because there'll always be some investment in it. This is a different kind of responsibility, not a responsibility that has punishment like this world calls it. It's just using your divine power to look at each thought and see its unreality, that it cannot change you in any way, shape, or form. As soon as you see that you are the miscreator of it through desire to experience it, you will know that you can dispel it. The ego would have you believe that this is problematic, yet it is the direct, uncompromising acceptance of divinity. This is uncompromising. Atlas has both created the world and wears the weight of it on his shoulders. This need not be. Jesus, is there any desire to have a feeling and experience of carrying the world upon my shoulders? Jesus says, lay this burden down. See that this is a self-imposed yoke. You're not a beast of burden. Does the infinite light that's shared by all that's here, does it know anything about a burden? The idea of burden is love denied. That we would not be carried so easily by the Father. Thank you, Jesus, for reminding me of this. Thank you, my brother, for reminding me of this. Place the world aside, but for a moment, and go within to rest as the holy instant, with the openness to be shown that the light of who you are is always shining. In silence, it is easy to recognize the answer to the question, what am I? What are you? It is easy to recognize that the answer to the question is already given. Jesus is the answer to what am I already given. This is a time to welcome the voice of Christ within. He tells you in your heart what's true. This is a simple means to the recognition of your timeless, changeless, objectless being. What am I? Ask the light within. Am I an object? And hear the answer. If I am not an object, how can the world be objects? How can anything be relative to something else? If all there is to hear is light, there are no objects. But we can ask the light because we are the light, and only the light can answer. The light within. Does the light know time in our direct experience? Rest here often, timelessness. This is contemplation, timelessness, infinite light. Rest here often until you see that this is all there is. This is the happiest garden to nurture. See that infinite love, the light within, always shines here. Infinite love is soliciting you to spend time here to get to know yourself. It's calling to you, just as you're calling to infinite love. I want to know you. Infinite light answers, I am you. I am you. Rest here and illumination will come that everything that is shared in A Course in Miracles is true by direct experience. Not tomorrow. Not another day. Now. Amen. That's a good chapter. So we will open the floor if anyone would like to speak tonight, or you can rest as that infinite light that you are. You'll probably have to come forward here and speak if you'd like, and I'll move and come sit in my seat. But so if there's anyone that feels to speak, just raise your hand. Or here. Anyone here? Okay.
So I just want to share this experience that I had in the light circle. As I was sitting there, and my eyes were drawn to look at the nature out there. And there's lots of change and movement, and the waves are there, and the birds are flying, and what else was moving? Everything was moving, but at the moment Kay said these words, changeless nature of being. And I was just looking at that nature there, it was so changeless in that moment. I saw the changelessness in that change, even if the change was there, but there was this changeless being of nature, and I just, I'm just blown away with this experience. And I'm welcoming it to every moment that I see it constantly. So thank you.
Would you like to show them the view out there?
Yeah.
I don't think everyone's seen that.
So I'm going to show you the view out there. There is a lake and a mountain. I don't know if you can see it. Lots of birds.
Yeah, you have to come see it. Yes, everyone agrees you can come see us. Oh, we love you very much. Thank you for joining with us.
Love you too.
Love you very much.
Bye.